The crowd roared as Aksana stepped into the wrestling ring, her presence radiating power and allure. Her fierce gaze scanned the audience. But beneath the glamour and spotlight lay a story riddled with struggle, ambition, and resilience. Aksana wasn't just a wrestler. She was a symbol of perseverance, defiance, and the price of chasing dreams in the grueling world of professional wrestling. The wrestling world is not for the faint-hearted. Behind the glittering lights, choreographed moves, and roaring crowds is a world rife with backstage politics, physical tolls, and personal sacrifices. Aksana, a trailblazer in her own right, navigated this world with grace and grit. But her journey was anything but easy. Born Zivil Rodanin, Aksana became a name synonymous with charisma and athleticism. She was a product of ambition, courage, and an unwavering belief in her abilities. Yet, her rise to prominence in WWE wasn't just about her in-ring performances. It was about the battles she fought outside the ring. From her initial struggles as an immigrant adapting to a new culture to the challenges of proving herself in a male-dominated industry, Aksana's story is a testament to the power of resilience. Aksana's journey embodies the dichotomy of success, glory on one side, personal sacrifice on the other. Her tale is one of hope, heartbreak, and triumph. It's the story of a woman who dared to dream and paid the price for standing out in a ruthless industry. This documentary delves into Aksana's life beyond the wrestling ring, revealing the person behind the persona. It explores her roots, her climb to fame, and the moments that defined her career. It also uncovers the darker aspects of her journey, betrayals, losses, and the emotional cost of stardom. Above all, it's a story about legacy, the lessons Aksana left behind, and how her journey continues to inspire countless others. A vivid description of Aksana's most iconic match, where she silenced critics with her performance. A glimpse of her backstage struggles, her quiet tears in the locker room, and her resolve to keep fighting. The moment she first realized the impact she had on fans, letters, cheers, and the love that made it all worth it. Aksana's story is one that demands to be told, not just for wrestling fans, but for anyone who has faced adversity and refused to give up. As we dive into her journey, we'll uncover the many layers of a woman who was more than just a wrestler. She was a fighter, a dreamer, and a beacon of hope for those who dare to challenge the odds. In the world of wrestling, victories are celebrated in the ring, but the real battles are fought behind the scenes. This is Aksana's story, a journey of grit, glory, and the relentless pursuit of dreams. Long before the bright lights of the wrestling arena, Aksana was simply Zivil Rodanin, a young girl growing up in Alytus, Lithuania. Born on April 29, 1982, in a country recovering from the fall of the Soviet Union. Her early life was shaped by resilience, cultural pride, and the struggle to carve a path in a world filled with uncertainties. Aksana's childhood was a blend of warmth and hardship. Her parents, hard-working and resourceful, instilled in her the values of perseverance and ambition. Growing up in a modest household, she learned early that success wasn't handed to anyone. It had to be earned. Anecdote: as a child, Zivil often practiced gymnastics in her backyard, using makeshift equipment. Her mother recalled how she would spend hours perfecting her routines, her eyes set on becoming an athlete. Environment: the post-Soviet era was a time of significant change in Lithuania. Aksana's determination to succeed was fueled by a desire to rise above the limitations of her circumstances. Her family played a crucial role in shaping her character. Her father, a factory worker, taught her discipline, while her mother, a schoolteacher, encouraged her dreams. The values they instilled became the bedrock of her career. Quote from her mother: Zivel always had a fire within her. She didn't just dream. She worked tirelessly to make her dreams a reality. From an early age, Aksana showed an interest in fitness and athleticism. She participated in gymnastics, weightlifting, and other sports, often standing out for her dedication and natural ability. Key moment: at age 16, she competed in her first bodybuilding competition, where she earned a second-place finish. It was here that her love for physical fitness truly took root. Bodybuilding became an escape and a purpose for her. The discipline it required mirrored her own life philosophy: hard work, focus, and resilience. By her late teens, she had become a national bodybuilding champion in Lithuania, earning accolades and recognition for her determination. Challenges faced: as a young woman in a male-dominated sport, she often faced skepticism. Many questioned her decision to pursue a path that was unconventional for women in her community. Personal reflection: people thought I was crazy for wanting to lift weights. But to me, it was about proving that strength had no gender. Aksana found inspiration in both her immediate surroundings and the broader world. Her coaches, friends, and idols from the sports world all played a role in shaping her ambitions. Key role model: she admired Arnold Schwarzenegger for his transition from bodybuilding to mainstream success. His story became a blueprint for her own dreams of expanding beyond her athletic career. While her achievements brought her recognition, they also came at a cost. Aksana often had to balance her athletic pursuits with her academic responsibilities and familial obligations. Anecdote: at one point, her family's financial struggles forced her to consider giving up bodybuilding. However, her determination led her to take part-time jobs to fund her training and competition expenses. Despite her success in Lithuania, Aksana yearned for something bigger. She dreamed of breaking out of her small-town life and achieving international fame. Wrestling wasn't yet on her radar, but the seeds of ambition were firmly planted. Visionary statement: I always knew I was destined for more. Lithuania gave me my roots, but my dreams stretched far beyond its borders. By her early 20s, Aksana had laid the groundwork for her future success. Her achievements in bodybuilding caught the attention of international scouts, and an opportunity to pursue a new path was just around the corner. Foreshadowing: little did she know, the discipline and determination she cultivated during her early years would become her greatest assets in the world of professional wrestling. Aksana's early life was a testament to the power of resilience and ambition. She had faced challenges that would have deterred many, yet she emerged stronger, driven by an unshakable belief in her potential. The next chapter of her journey would take her far from her homeland, but the lessons she learned during these formative years would remain with her forever. In the quiet corners of Alytus, a future wrestling star was born. But before she could conquer the ring, she had to conquer her fears, her doubts, and the barriers of a world that wasn't ready for someone like her. The turning point in Aksana's life came when an opportunity to pursue her dreams presented itself. In her mid-20s, she left her home country with a mix of hope and apprehension, determined to make a name for herself on the international stage. Anecdote: Aksana vividly recalled her farewell at the airport, where her family tearfully waved goodbye. I didn't know if I'd ever come back the same person, she later said, but I knew I had to go to find out who I could become. Motivations. Her move wasn't just about ambition. It was about proving to herself and her doubters that she could rise beyond the limitations of her environment. Wrestling wasn't part of her original plan. Her focus was still on fitness and bodybuilding when she first arrived in the United States. However, her physicality and charisma caught the eye of talent scouts in the wrestling industry, paving the way for an unexpected yet life-changing opportunity. Discovery. Aksana was approached by WWE recruiters at an international bodybuilding competition. impressed by her athleticism and stage presence. They offered her a developmental contract reflection. I never imagined wrestling would be my path. But the moment I stepped into the ring, it felt like destiny. Aksana's introduction to professional wrestling wasn't glamorous. It began with grueling training sessions at WWE's Developmental Center, where she had to learn the fundamentals from scratch. Physical challenges. Despite her background in bodybuilding, wrestling required a completely different skill set. Aksana spent hours perfecting her moves, enduring countless falls and bruises along the way. Mental struggles. Learning the art of storytelling in the ring was equally challenging. She often doubted her ability to connect with the audience. Wrestling isn't just about strength. It's about heart. And that's the part one had to discover within myself. Life in the United States was a stark contrast to her life in Lithuania. Aksana struggled to adapt to a new culture, language, and way of life while navigating the competitive world of professional wrestling. Language barrier. Speaking English was a significant hurdle. I felt like an outsider. She admitted, every word I said felt awkward, but I knew I had to push through. Loneliness. Being far from her family took a toll on her emotionally, but she channeled her feelings into her training, using the ring as an outlet for her frustrations and aspirations. Aksana's hard work began to pay off when she debuted in WWE's developmental promotion, Florida Championship Wrestling, FCW. Her natural athleticism and unique Eastern European charm quickly made her stand out. Character development. WWE worked closely with her to craft her in-ring persona. She was given the name Aksana, reflecting a mysterious and glamorous character that aligned with her real-life allure. Anecdote. In her debut match, she surprised her trainers by executing a flawless suplex, earning cheers from the crowd and respect from her peers. Despite her initial success, Aksana's journey was far from smooth. She faced fierce competition from more experienced wrestlers and often felt overshadowed by bigger personalities in the locker room. Locker room politics. Wrestling, she quickly learned, wasn't just about skill. Backstage dynamics played a huge role in determining opportunities. Sometimes, it felt like I was wrestling two battles, one in the ring and one behind the scenes. Injuries. An early shoulder injury forced her to take time off, testing her patience and resolve. During this time, she focused on studying matches and improving her mic skills to prepare for her return. Aksana's big break came when she began incorporating her unique flair into her matches. Her charisma and dramatic in-ring storytelling started winning over fans, who appreciated her distinctive style. Signature move. Aksana developed her own signature move, a devastating spinebuster, which became a crowd favorite. That move became my statement. It was my way of saying I belonged here. Fan connection. She also embraced her role as a heel villain, leaning into the mysterious and manipulative aspects of her character, which drew both boos and admiration from audiences. As she continued to grow in her role, Aksana formed bonds with fellow wrestlers who mentored her and helped her navigate the complexities of the business. Mentorship. Wrestlers like Natalya Neidhart and Beth Phoenix became her allies, offering guidance on everything from technique to navigating the pressures of the industry. Friendship. Despite the competitive environment, Aksana found a sense of camaraderie with other women in the locker room. We all wanted to be the best, but we also supported each other when it mattered most. By the time Aksana made her main roster debut, she had evolved into a confident and capable performer. Her unique combination of athleticism and stage presence set her apart, and she began to see glimpses of the stardom she had always dreamed of. Debut on WWE's main roster. Aksana's debut was met with mixed reactions, but it marked a major milestone in her career. That first match on live TV was the moment I realized I was no longer just dreaming. I was living it. Reflection on early success. Looking back on her journey, Aksana often credited her persistence and willingness to adapt as the keys to her progress. Nothing about this journey was easy, but every challenge shaped me into the wrestler and person I was becoming. Aksana's early journey was a testament to her resilience and adaptability. She faced cultural barriers, physical challenges, and personal doubts, but emerged stronger with each obstacle she overcame. Little did she know, the hardest battles and the most defining moments of her career were yet to come. The journey to greatness is never a straight path. For Aksana, every twist and turn brought her closer to her destiny as a wrestling icon. Aksana's official debut on WWE's main roster marked the beginning of her rise to prominence. The world of WWE was more competitive, more intense, and far more cutthroat than developmental. It was here that she would truly prove herself, not just as an athlete but as an entertainer. First appearance. Aksana made her debut in a storyline with Teddy Long, the then SmackDown general manager, where she portrayed a sultry and manipulative character. The storyline was a strategic move by WWE to introduce her unique persona. Fan reactions. The fans' reactions to her debut were polarizing. Some appreciated her charm and presence, while others criticized her inexperience. Hearing both cheers and boos taught me one thing. At least I wasn't being ignored. As Aksana settled into her role, she leaned heavily into the glamorous and mysterious elements of her character. WWE positioned her as a femme fatale, blending sophistication with cunning. Storyline highlights. Her on-screen relationship with Teddy Long added intrigue and humor to her character, allowing her to connect with the audience on a different level. She played her role with conviction, earning both laughs and scorn from fans. Signature look. Her bold makeup, sleek outfits, and confident demeanor became synonymous with her persona, making her stand out among the roster. Aksana's rise was further fueled by her performances in the ring. Though she was not yet a headliner, her matches showcase her growth as a performer and her commitment to improving her craft. Key rivalries. Aksana faced off against several prominent female wrestlers, including Natalya and AJ Lee. These matches not only tested her skills, but also provided her with opportunities to learn from more experienced competitors. Signature wins. A pivotal moment in her career was her victory in a tag team match alongside Beth Phoenix, solidifying her position as a credible competitor. While the glitz and glamour of WWE seemed appealing, the reality behind the scenes was anything but. Aksana faced a grueling schedule, constant travel, and the pressure to perform at her best every single night. Travel woes. WWE's packed schedule required her to travel almost every day, leaving little time for rest or personal life. Sometimes I didn't even know what city I was in. It was exhausting, but the adrenaline of performing kept me going. Backstage politics. The backstage environment was often tense, with wrestlers vying for opportunities and storylines. Aksana learned to navigate this competitive atmosphere, building alliances while staying true to herself. Aksana's hard work didn't go unnoticed. Fans began to appreciate her unique style, and her character gained a cult following. For the first time, she felt like she belonged. Fan connection. She started receiving fan mail and hearing stories about how her journey inspired others. I realized that even if I wasn't in the main event, I was making an impact on someone's life. Accolades. While she wasn't a title holder yet, Aksana was recognized as a promising talent and a rising star in the women's division. As an Eastern European wrestler, Aksana often faced stereotypes and cultural misunderstandings. While she embraced her roots, she also worked hard to break free from limiting perceptions. Cultural representation. WWE sometimes played up her Lithuanian heritage in stereotypical ways, which she navigated with grace. I wanted to show the world that I was more than just an accent or a gimmick. I was an athlete and an entertainer. Criticism and doubts. Critics often questioned her abilities, labeling her as more of a character than a wrestler. Aksana used this criticism as motivation, pushing herself harder in training and matches. Several moments during her rise to fame became defining points in Aksana's career. First pay-per-view appearance. Her debut on a major WWE pay-per-view event was a proud moment. Although she wasn't in the main event, being part of such a spectacle was a dream come true. Partnership with Cesaro. A storyline pairing her with Cesaro brought her into the spotlight as a manager and wrestler. The chemistry between them added depth to her character and showcased her versatility. Aksana began to develop a loyal fan base, many of whom admired her perseverance and distinct style. Social media became a platform where she connected with fans, sharing glimpses of her journey and personal struggles. Personal reflection. Every time I stepped into the ring, I reminded myself that someone out there was watching me for inspiration. That kept me going. Even on the hardest days, the path to stardom wasn't without its hurdles. Aksana faced injuries, creative setbacks, and the constant pressure to stay relevant in a rapidly changing industry. Injury setbacks. A knee injury sidelined her for several months, forcing her to miss critical opportunities. Sitting on the sidelines was the hardest thing for me. I felt like the world was moving forward without me. Creative frustrations. WWE's creative decisions sometimes left her feeling underutilized. But she used every chance she got to prove her worth. Despite the challenges, Aksana's rise to fame was a testament to her resilience and determination. She had come a long way from her days in Lithuania, proving that hard work and perseverance could open doors she had never imagined. Aksana's rise to prominence was marked by a mix of triumphs and tribulations. She was no longer just another name on the roster. She was a force to be reckoned with. But as she climbed higher, the stakes grew more significant, and the challenges more daunting. In the world of wrestling, fame is fleeting, and the climb to the top is never easy. For Aksana, every step forward was a fight. But she wouldn't have had it any other way. With her rise to fame, Aksana began to experience the harsh realities of life in the wrestling industry. While the cheers of the crowd fueled her passion, the sacrifices she had to make weighed heavily on her. The physical toll. Wrestling is a physically demanding sport, and Aksana was no stranger to its toll on her body. Over time, the relentless schedule and intense matches began to take their toll. Injury battles. Aksana suffered multiple minor injuries and nagging pain that became a constant part of her life. Every morning, I woke up sore, but I reminded myself why I started this journey. Anecdote. During one match, she sustained a significant bruise on her back, but continued wrestling, unwilling to let her fans down. Mental strain. Beyond the physical pain, the mental strain of constantly performing under pressure started to weigh on her. The hardest part wasn't the bruises. It was the fear of falling short. While fans saw the glitz and glamour of her life in the ring, the backstage environment was a different story. Wrestling was as much about politics and positioning as it was about talent. Locker room politics. Aksana often found herself caught in the crossfire of backstage rivalries. It wasn't enough to be good in the ring. You had to play the game behind the scenes. Navigating relationships. Forming genuine friendships in such a competitive environment was challenging. While she had allies, she also encountered jealousy and mistrust. As her career grew, Aksana made significant sacrifices in her personal life. The demands of her schedule left little room for relationships, family, or personal fulfillment. Family distance. Living far from her family in Lithuania was one of the hardest aspects of her career. I missed birthdays, holidays, and the little moments that mattered. Romantic challenges. The demanding lifestyle of a wrestler made it difficult to maintain romantic relationships. Aksana often struggled with loneliness and the feeling of isolation. No wrestler escapes the scrutiny of fans and critics. And Aksana was no exception. As she worked to establish herself, she faced constant judgment about her abilities and character. Criticism from fans and media. Some fans and critics dismissed her as a gimmick wrestler, undermining her hard work and dedication. Hearing people say I didn't deserve to be there was like a dagger to the heart. Overcoming self-doubt. The criticism led to moments of self-doubt, where Aksana questioned whether she was truly cut out for the industry. There were days I wanted to give up, but I reminded myself of everything I'd sacrificed to get here. Aksana's career wasn't without its controversies. From misinterpreted storylines to backstage rumors, she often found herself at the center of unwanted attention. Storyline criticism. Some of the storylines WWE involved her in drew backlash from fans, who felt they didn't showcase her talents effectively. Backstage rumors. Rumors about her relationships with fellow wrestlers occasionally circulated, adding unnecessary stress to her already challenging career. The pressures of stardom, combined with personal sacrifices, began to take an emotional toll on Aksana. She often felt caught between the demands of her career and her desire for a more balanced life. Burnout, the constant travel, lack of sleep, and emotional strain led to moments of burnout. There were nights I cried myself to sleep, wondering if all of this was worth it. Coping mechanisms. To cope, Aksana turned to journaling, meditation, and fitness, using these outlets to process her emotions and stay grounded. Despite the challenges, Aksana refused to let them define her. Instead, she used her struggles as fuel to become a stronger, more resilient person. Resilience in the ring. Aksana poured her frustrations into her performances, delivering some of her best matches during the most challenging times of her life. Inspirational impact. Her openness about her struggles resonated with fans, many of whom saw her as a role model for overcoming adversity. The injury comeback. After recovering from a knee injury, Aksana returned to the ring with a newfound determination. Her first match back was met with a standing ovation, a moment she described as the sweetest victory. Standing up for herself. In one backstage confrontation, Aksana defended her worth as a performer, earning the respect of her peers. That day, I realized I didn't need anyone's approval to know I belonged. Aksana often reflected on the challenges she faced and the lessons she learned along the way. The struggles weren't just obstacles. They were opportunities to grow stronger, to prove to myself that I could endure anything. Aksana's journey through the darker aspects of her career revealed the depth of her resilience and determination. She faced pain, criticism, and sacrifice but emerged stronger, ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead. In the wrestling world, pain is inevitable, but giving up is optional. Aksana chose to fight, not just in the ring, but in life. As Aksana persevered through challenges, her career began to reach new heights. This period marked the peak of her wrestling journey, with unforgettable performances, significant achievements, and a lasting impact on her fans. Breakthrough moment. Aksana's defining moment came during a high-profile match on a WWE pay-per-view event. The match, which pitted her against a top-tier competitor, showcased her evolution as a performer. Highlight. In the climactic moments of the match, Aksana delivered her signature spinebuster to a deafening roar from the crowd, cementing her status as a force to be reckoned with. Fan reaction. That night, I felt like I truly belonged. The fans were with me every step of the way. During this period, Aksana participated in matches that defined her legacy, each showcasing her growth as a wrestler and performer. The rivalry with Natalya, Aksana's feud with Natalya became a highlight of her career, blending technical wrestling with compelling storytelling. Their matches were praised for their intensity and chemistry. Anecdote: in one match, Aksana endured a grueling submission hold for several minutes before reversing it into a pin, earning her a hard-fought victory. Survivor Series Spotlight: a standout performance came at the annual Survivor Series event, where Aksana led her team to victory in a traditional elimination match. Her resilience and leadership shone through, earning her widespread recognition. Aksana's ability to connect with the audience became a defining feature of her career. Whether she was playing a villain or a fan favorite, she commanded attention and evoked emotion. Transformation into a fan favorite over time. Aksana transitioned from a heel villain to a face hero, a move that resonated deeply with fans. Becoming a fan favorite wasn't just about winning matches. It was about showing my heart. Audience interaction: Aksana often engaged with fans during matches, creating memorable moments that left a lasting impression. Aksana's influence extended beyond her performances. She became a role model for aspiring wrestlers, particularly women, and an advocate for breaking barriers in the industry. Empowering women: Aksana's success inspired many women to pursue careers in wrestling. She often spoke about the importance of determination and self-belief. "If I can do it, anyone can. You just have to want it enough." Mentorship role: Aksana began mentoring younger wrestlers, sharing the lessons she had learned throughout her journey. Her guidance helped shape the careers of several rising stars. At her peak, Aksana was a household name among wrestling fans. She graced magazine covers, appeared on talk shows, and became a sought-after personality in the industry. Mainstream recognition: Aksana's crossover appeal brought her opportunities outside of wrestling, including roles in commercials and guest appearances on TV shows. Anecdote: during a live interview, she shared her journey from Lithuania to WWE, earning admiration for her humility and candor. Fan tributes: fans from around the world expressed their admiration through fan art, letters, and social media posts. Aksana often took the time to acknowledge their support. "Knowing I've touched people's lives is the greatest reward." Aksana played a pivotal role in elevating the WWE Women's Division, proving that women could deliver matches and stories on par with their male counterparts. Trailblazer for future generations: her success helped pave the way for the women's evolution in WWE, which saw women take center stage in the wrestling world. I'm proud to have been part of the foundation that future stars build upon. Highlight reel: her matches, promos, and moments became part of WWE's highlight reels, ensuring her legacy lived on. As Aksana's career soared, she also achieved personal milestones that reflected her growth as an individual, reuniting with family during a WWE tour in Europe. Aksana had the chance to perform in front of her family for the first time. "Seeing my parents in the crowd was a dream come true. It reminded me why I started this journey." Charity work: Aksana became involved in charitable initiatives, using her platform to support causes close to her heart, such as promoting fitness and empowering young women. Even at her highest point, Aksana faced challenges that tested her resilience. Pressure to stay relevant: the competitive nature of WWE meant she had to constantly innovate and adapt to maintain her position. You're only as good as your last match, and that pressure can be overwhelming. Physical strain: the demands of her peak years left her physically exhausted. Despite this, Aksana continued to push herself, determined to give her best to the fans. Aksana's fans played a significant role in shaping her legacy, and their testimonials highlight her impact. Quote from a fan: "Aksana wasn't just a wrestler, she was an inspiration. Her story showed me that anything is possible with hard work and determination." Fan letters: Aksana often received letters from fans sharing how her journey had inspired them. She kept many of these letters as a reminder of why she pursued her dreams. Looking back on this period, Aksana often described it as the most rewarding and challenging time of her life. I was living my dream, but it came with sacrifices. Still, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Aksana's peak moments solidified her place in wrestling history. Her journey from a small-town girl in Lithuania to a global wrestling star was a testament to her resilience, passion, and unwavering belief in herself. Legacies aren't built in a single moment. They're forged through years of struggle, triumph, and perseverance. Aksana's legacy is one that will inspire generations to come. As with all careers in professional wrestling, Aksana's time in the spotlight began to fade. The physical and emotional toll of years in the ring, coupled with the constant push for newer talent, marked the beginning of her decline. Changes in WWE's direction, wrestling organizations, including WWE, frequently shift their focus to keep the product fresh. The rise of the women's evolution brought new stars to the forefront, and Aksana found herself receiving fewer opportunities. Shift in spotlight. I watched as the company embraced incredible new talent, and while I was proud to have paved the way, it hurt to feel left behind. Character relegation. Aksana's role was often reduced to secondary storylines or enhancement matches, a significant shift from her time at the top. Years of intense matches and grueling schedules left Aksana with lasting physical issues that began to affect her performance. Chronic pain and injuries. Wrestling is unforgiving, and Aksana's body bore the brunt of it. She developed chronic pain in her knees and back, making it increasingly difficult to maintain her previous performance level. Anecdote: during one match, Aksana tweaked her knee, but she pushed through, unwilling to let her opponent or fans see her struggle. Reflection: the pain became a constant companion, but I didn't want to let it define me. I kept going because I loved what I did. Recovery challenges. Her injuries required extended recovery times, which led to missed opportunities and loss of momentum. The waning of her career also brought emotional struggles, as Aksana wrestled with feelings of inadequacy and fear of irrelevance, feeling forgotten as new stars took center stage. Aksana struggled to find her place. One day, you're in the main event. The next, you're watching from the sidelines. It's a hard reality to face. Loneliness and isolation. Without the constant buzz of the spotlight, Aksana experienced moments of deep loneliness. Her once-packed schedule gave way to long, quiet days filled with introspection. Quote from Aksana: I realized how much of my identity was tied to wrestling. Stepping away felt like losing a piece of myself. The backstage environment, once a place of camaraderie, became increasingly challenging for Aksana as she felt sidelined. Creative disappointments. Aksana often found herself frustrated by WWE's creative decisions, which didn't fully utilize her talents. I knew I had more to give, but it felt like the opportunities weren't there anymore. Support from peers. Despite her frustrations, she found solace in the support of fellow wrestlers who understood the ups and downs of the industry. We all go through it. It's the nature of the business. Eventually, Aksana realized it was time to step away from the ring. The decision was bittersweet but necessary for her physical and emotional well-being. Retirement from WWE. In 2014, Aksana was released from her WWE contract, marking the end of her tenure with the company. While it wasn't her decision, she viewed it as an opportunity to start a new chapter. Reflection on her release. At first, I felt like I had failed, but then I realized it was a chance to rediscover who I was outside of wrestling. Fan support during transition. The outpouring of love and support from her fans helped her navigate the difficult transition. Knowing I had made an impact gave me strength to move forward. Stepping away from the ring allowed Aksana to explore new opportunities and rediscover herself. Pursuing other passions, Aksana delved into fitness coaching, using her knowledge and experience to help others achieve their goals. She also became an advocate for mental health and physical well-being. Fitness coaching success. Her background in bodybuilding and wrestling made her a sought-after trainer, and she quickly built a loyal client base. Advocacy work. Aksana shared her struggles with injury and self-doubt, encouraging others to prioritize their health and self-worth. Reconnecting with family. Returning to Lithuania allowed Aksana to spend quality time with her family, strengthening bonds that had been strained by years of distance. Looking back, Aksana viewed her career with a mix of pride and humility. While she had faced challenges, she recognized the impact she had made and the lessons she had learned. Personal reflection. Wrestling gave me so much strength, resilience, and a platform to inspire others. It wasn't always easy, but I wouldn't change a thing. Gratitude for fans. Aksana often expressed her gratitude to her fans, who had supported her through every high and low. Their belief in me kept me going, even when I doubted myself, though her career ended earlier than she had hoped. Aksana's contributions to wrestling left a lasting legacy, inspiration to others. Aksana's story continued to inspire aspiring wrestlers, particularly those from underrepresented backgrounds. Her journey proved that determination and hard work could overcome even the toughest challenges. Acknowledgement from peers, fellow wrestlers often praise Aksana for her professionalism, work ethic, and positive attitude. She was a fighter in every sense of the word, said one former colleague. Aksana's later years in wrestling and her transition out of the industry were marked by challenges, but they also revealed her strength and adaptability. She faced the end of her career with grace, finding new ways to channel her passion and inspire others. In wrestling, as in life, the end of one chapter is the beginning of another. For Aksana, the ring may have faded, but her impact will never be forgotten. The day Aksana stepped away from the wrestling ring for the last time was filled with mixed emotions. Her final match may not have been a grand spectacle, but it marked the end of a chapter that had defined her life. Last match in WWE. Aksana's last televised appearance came during a multi-women's tag team match, where she gave one final display of her athleticism and charisma. Reflection on her final performance. I didn't know it would be my last match at the time, but I wanted to leave everything I had in the ring. Fan reaction. While her exit wasn't heavily publicized, fans who had followed her journey expressed their appreciation for her contributions. After her WWE release, Aksana took time to process the end of her wrestling career. It wasn't an easy transition, but it allowed her to reflect on her journey and prepare for what came next. Emotional goodbye. Leaving the wrestling world meant saying goodbye to the adrenaline of live performances, the camaraderie of the locker room, and the fans who had supported her. To quote from Aksana, "Wrestling was my life for so long. Walking away felt like losing a part of myself. But it was also a chance to rediscover who I was outside the ring." Support from fans and peers. The messages of love and encouragement she received from fans and colleagues reminded her of the impact she had made. Knowing I touched so many lives made it all worth it. Aksana's departure from WWE marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life, one focused on personal growth, giving back, and finding fulfillment outside of wrestling. Pursuit of fitness and wellness. Aksana's passion for fitness led her to become a certified trainer and wellness coach. She used her platform to promote health, confidence, and self-love. Success in fitness coaching. Her reputation as a former WWE star helped her build a successful coaching business, where she inspired clients to push past their limits. Advocacy for wellness. Aksana frequently spoke about the importance of mental and physical health, drawing from her own experiences to encourage others, returned to her roots. After years on the road, Aksana returned to Lithuania, reconnecting with her family and rediscovering her cultural heritage. Family reunion. Spending time with her parents and siblings brought her a sense of peace and belonging. Being home reminded me of where I came from and why I fought so hard. As Aksana looked back on her wrestling career, she recognized the highs and lows as essential parts of her story. Each victory, setback, and challenge had shaped her into the person she was. Pride in her achievements, despite the challenges. Aksana was proud of her accomplishments. I may not have held championships, but I achieved something far greater. I proved to myself and others that dreams are worth chasing. Lessons learned. Wrestling taught Aksana the value of perseverance, resilience, and self-belief. These lessons carried over into every aspect of her post-wrestling life. Aksana's departure from wrestling included a heartfelt message to her fans, shared through social media and interviews. She thanked them for their unwavering support and reflected on the role they had played in her journey. Quote from Aksana: "To everyone who believed in me, cheered for me, and stood by me, thank you. You were the reason I kept going, even on the hardest days." Fan tributes. Fans paid tribute to Aksana through letters, videos, and social media posts, sharing how her story had inspired them. She showed us what it means to fight for your dreams. One fan wrote, "Though her time in wrestling had come to an end, Aksana's legacy lived on. Her journey from a small-town girl in Lithuania to a WWE star continued to inspire others." Impact on women's wrestling. Aksana's contributions to WWE's women's division paved the way for future stars. Her unique style and determination left an indelible mark on the industry. Inspiration beyond wrestling, beyond the ring. Aksana's story resonated with anyone who had faced adversity and pursued their dreams. Her journey was a testament to the power of resilience and self-belief. Aksana's farewell wasn't marked by a grand send-off, but by quiet reflection and gratitude. As she stepped away from the spotlight, she embraced the next chapter of her life with the same determination that had carried her through her wrestling career. Peaceful transition. Aksana found peace in letting go of the past and focusing on the future. The ring will always be a part of me, but it's time to write a new story, a message to herself. In her final journal entry about wrestling, she wrote, "I gave everything I had to this journey, and it gave me more than I ever imagined. Now, it's time to see what else the world has in store." Aksana's farewell to wrestling was not the end, but a new beginning. She walked away with her head held high, proud of what she had achieved and excited for the opportunities ahead. Farewells are never easy, but they are a chance to grow and evolve. For Aksana, leaving the ring was not the end of her story. It was the start of something new. Aksana's story is one of resilience, transformation, and self-discovery. From her humble beginnings in Lithuania to her rise as a WWE star, her journey was marked by determination and the relentless pursuit of her dreams. The early years, her childhood in Alytus, Lithuania, shaped her grit and ambition. The values instilled by her family and her love for athletics became the foundation for her career. Reflection. I never dreamed that a girl from a small town in Lithuania would one day perform on a global stage. But I believed in the power of hard work. The wrestling career. Aksana's time in WWE was filled with unforgettable moments, personal growth, and the challenges of navigating a competitive industry. Key takeaway. Wrestling taught me more about myself than I ever thought possible. It tested me, pushed me, and ultimately made me stronger. Aksana's journey resonates with people from all walks of life. It's a story about overcoming adversity, finding one's voice, and leaving a mark in the face of challenges. Inspiration for aspiring wrestlers, Aksana became a symbol of what could be achieved through persistence and courage, particularly for women looking to make their mark in a male-dominated field. Quote from Aksana: "If my story inspires even one person to chase their dreams, then every challenge I face was worth it." A lesson in resilience, Aksana's ability to persevere through setbacks, injuries, and criticism serves as a reminder that success is often found on the other side of struggle. Aksana's impact on the wrestling world and beyond can be seen in the lives she touched and the barriers she helped break. Contribution to women's wrestling. As part of WWE's women's division during a transformative period, Aksana played a role in showcasing the athleticism and talent of female wrestlers. Her performances helped pave the way for the women's evolution in WWE. Industry recognition. She was one of the unsung heroes who laid the groundwork for today's stars, said one WWE historian. Cultural representation. As one of the few Eastern European wrestlers in WWE, Aksana brought diversity and a unique perspective to the industry. Fan perspective. Aksana showed us that no matter where you come from, you can achieve greatness with hard work and belief in yourself. Beyond the bright lights of WWE, Aksana's story is deeply human. It's about a young woman who left her home to chase a dream, faced immense challenges, and found her place in the world. Personal growth. Wrestling forced Aksana to confront her fears, doubts, and insecurities. Through it all, she emerged as a stronger and more self-assured person. Quote from Aksana: "The person I became through wrestling is someone I'm proud of. I learned to stand tall, even when the odds were against me." Impact on fans. Aksana's connection with her fans remains one of the most meaningful aspects of her career. Their letters, messages, and support reminded her of the power of storytelling and performance. Aksana's journey offers valuable lessons for anyone striving to achieve their goals or overcome challenges. Embrace the struggle. Aksana's story shows that success often comes with hardships, but those hardships build character and strength. Lesson: don't fear failure. It's part of the process. Every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Stay true to yourself. Throughout her career, Aksana remained authentic, embracing her roots and individuality. This authenticity became one of her greatest strengths. Aksana's legacy is not just about what she accomplished, but also about the path she paved for others. Her story serves as a beacon for those who dare to dream big. Advice for aspiring wrestlers and dreamers: find your passion. Work harder than anyone else. And never let anyone tell you what you can't do. The world is full of possibilities. You just have to believe in yourself. Encouraging resilience. Aksana often spoke about the importance of resilience, urging others to embrace their challenges as stepping stones to success. As Aksana reflects on her journey, she feels a deep sense of gratitude for every moment, both the highs and the lows. Each experience shaped her into the person she is today, and she wouldn't trade any of it. Closing quote from Aksana: "Wrestling was my dream, my passion, and my greatest teacher. I may have left the ring, but the lessons I learned will stay with me forever. Thank you to everyone who was part of my journey. You helped make my dreams come true." Aksana's story is one of hope, determination, and the courage to chase dreams against all odds. It's a reminder that no matter where you come from, you have the power to create a legacy that inspires others. In the end, Aksana's legacy isn't just about what she did in the ring. It's about the lives she touched, the barriers she broke, and the belief she instilled in others to rise above their circumstances and reach for greatness. Aksana's journey may have begun in a small town in Lithuania, but her impact resonates on a global scale. Her story is a testament to the power of perseverance, the beauty of chasing dreams, and the enduring legacy of a life lived with passion and purpose.